Okay, before we get started, happy to announce our new proud partnership with Spadex Print and Design. The Defence Force community finally has its very own print shop. From business cards, banners, table throws, and all your display needs, iconic for stickers and labels. They also build websites, so support Australian veteran-owned business, proud to have served, Spadex Print and Design. And they also have launched a new website for Australian military stickers called King's Corporal. King's Corporal do personalised ribbon stickers, custom military stickers, and it's veteran-owned business, which is even better. So get involved, support the cause at www.kingscorporal.com.au. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Australian Warfighter Coffee. They're one of our main sponsors of the show. They're a veteran-owned business. They support veteran causes, and not only do they do that, but they also support emergency services causes as well. You've probably seen me and Shane drinking from the Warfighter Coffee mugs on the show. We also drink their coffee, which they kindly donate to us. Keeps us going through every episode. Guys, get on board. It's a bloody good coffee. Australian Warfighter Coffee. Alright, welcome to another episode of the Maladjusted Monkeys. I'm Tommy Archer, joined always by my favourite co-host in my favourite studio. It's Mr. Shane Clupp.
G'day, Tommy.
Hey, mate. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
And we've got our best party shirts on today, so I know it's going to be a good Saturday. Before I go to work at 2 o'clock.
Sucks to be you.
I know, I'm not happy about
I'm
that.
batching at the moment. Unfortunately, Madison's not here.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
We're missing a person today, our producer, she does all the work, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Madison's not here today, so you're not going to hear her voice, unfortunately. So we're going to have to stumble through this.
Yeah.
Figure out how to work the social media so we can access some of the listener questions. But hey, we'll figure it out, mate.
Yeah,
I'm surprised your house is actually pretty clean and Madison's
What
not
do you
here.
mean? I'm always been the housekeeper, the housemaker.
So you say. But you did make me a nice breakfast and coffee when I walked in this morning.
You're quite welcome. And I gave you a bit of an eyeful when you first walked in too.
Yeah, you did. You're the only guy I know that answers the front door completely naked but wearing a beanie.
I tell you what, that actually is the greatest way to defuse tension.
Actually,
Have I
before we
told-
move on, can you tell me... I have told this story to a few people at work about tension you've had with neighbours in the past.
Yeah.
Because you're not a fighter. Let's be honest, you're not a fighter.
No.
Okay,
No.
your job descriptions say you are. I know you're not. So tell the story.
So, I was living in Harvey Bay with my ex-partner, and I was trying to say, I think it was about 11 o'clock at night, and there was a bunch of younger kids that were pissing on or something, but they were being really loud outside the house. And I just had enough, and I started yelling out to them to shut the fuck up. And of course, they started yelling back, and it started escalating, and they started coming up to the back door, the back veranda. So I went to go and meet them, but on the way, because I'd always sleep naked, I grabbed a small pocket telephone book and I just held it between my butt cheeks, so that when I've turned on the light, threw open the sliding glass door, and they're just staring at me, and then all of a sudden I just released my butt cheeks so that the book falls between, and everyone just started pissing themselves laughing, and then that was the end of it.
And that was it. They weren't angry with you.
Tension diffused. Like,
Thank God you've got that talent.
Mate.
I've been telling the story wrong. I thought you answered the door holding a Bible or something, but I don't know.
No.
That's a better version.
Yeah, much better. Like,
self-defense tips. With
if
Shane
you're
Clupp.
going to make it up, why not make it better? Like, that's horrible.
I don't know.
But, yeah, so let's talk about Longtan. Battle of Longtan.
Yes.
Danger Close.
So,
Oh my God.
You may have, for everyone listening, you may have heard one of our earlier podcasts with, we had Sean Barry on, who worked on the film Danger Close, Australian film. You right there, mate? Jesus Christ. It's not that much of a surprise, is it? You were there?
Yeah, no.
Strong
Good.
coffee. It's that Warfighter coffee.
You know, God damn.
Yeah, Danger Close, which is an Australian film about the Battle of Long Tan in Vietnam, involving our old unit, 6RAR, and our old company, Delta Company. So that hits...
Not to confuse it, we weren't there.
No, we weren't there. We were in there.
I wasn't even a twinkle in the milkman's eye at that point.
No. But the film came out a couple of weeks ago, but I think around about the time our last episode came out.
Yeah.
So when did you see it? You saw it with Madison, right?
Yeah, I think it was the first week come out. God knows, I can't remember. My memory's shocking, but
Yep. Because it's been out a little while now.
yeah, and it's apparently doing really well, which
Yeah.
no surprise, it is a freaking good movie.
Yeah, well, as soon as you and I saw the trailer for it,
Yeah.
I remember thinking...
Oh, just from what Bags was describing,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounded awesome. Holy crap, Madison was bawling her eyes out the whole way through.
Yeah, well, even I got a little emotional at some parts. There is a bit where I feel bad because I can't remember anyone's names in the film, but right at the end, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a historical event. So if you don't know how it ends, then I'd stop this podcast.
Go and watch it. Do yourself a favor.
Go and watch it, or Google Battle of Longtan. But when they're making their last stand towards the end of the film, and I wish I could remember what he says, but he does a bit of a fire up for the troops about how you Delta Company.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps in that bit. But I remember sitting in the film, and as he's saying, remember your Delta Company, I did go, fucking yes. I wanted to stand up in the cinema and be like, I was Delta Company.
Yeah. It is pretty cool, being knowing all that history and being and having a small part in being in that unit. And
that's right. When me and Shane, when we were in 6RA and Delta Company, it's part of our history. So you're seeing the photos on the walls and the plaques and the history.
Even meeting the guys.
Yeah, meeting the guys at certain boozer parades or drinks functions. But then to see it
portrayed on the big screen,
and and for an Australian film, it was done really fucking well,
dude.
I hate saying that for an Australian film.
But I remember telling you after I saw it that there's a bit at the start, and I got really nervous how it was edited. I was like, oh god. What was it? It was a bit Platoon-esque.
Yeah, reminded the movie Platoon. It did remind me of that at the beginning. I felt this because you'd already told me that. I remember you going,
because I didn't tell you what it was.
You said there's going to be a bit at the beginning that you're going to pick up on, and you get nervous about, and started. And I did have that moment, but then real quickly I was like, well, "This is a great film."
And Baz 100% right. Just the little details that all the ex AJs and stuff were able to bring in that the formations. It was a bit bunched up, but Arrowhead was Arrowhead, and
all those little things that us as soldiers would pick up on. I'm like, you've
even having their toggle ropes on their fucking
all the equipment, everything. It was funny seeing people we knew in the film.
Yeah.
So obviously you would have.
I can't talk. There's someone in that film who you should remember.
Captain George. Sorry, Captain G. We'll edit that out, right?
Yeah.
I'll just say El Capitano.
Yeah, I'll just put a beep in there or something.
Yeah, do that. That'd be great. Yeah, we'll just say El Capitano for now. Yeah, when he came on, I was like,
you've ruined the movie.
I was like, come on. But it was weird because I hadn't seen or spoke about him in years. And I was like, okay, he's in the film. But then seeing Jack,
he got a pretty juicy part too.
He did. That was a really good part. Anyone who's seen it, he jumps on.
Well, there's no point cutting out his name now.
No, fuck it. Yeah, so Captain George, he's in the bit where he jumped. They're doing the resupply for the ammo, and he's sitting in the back of the chopper throwing the ammo back out. So that was a pretty good, good role. And I think his big moment gives the thumbs up to the pilot, and seeing Jack Barton, that was weird.
Yeah,
because he's he pops up a fair bit in the film. But apart from that, that was the only moments I was taken out of the film. They go, oh fuck, I know that.
Yeah.
But the action scenes were great, and I shouldn't call them action scenes. The war, well, they are. The war scenes are really well done, and from start to finish, great film. I want to go see it again.
Yeah, definitely should before it.
Yep.
I'm really keen to find out how well it's. Has it been released in America?
I think it has. I don't know how it's done, but I do remember seeing a social media post about that. But the director Chris Stenders, mate, great job. Me and Shane loved it. I wish Madison was here to tell us what she thought.
Yeah.
Can you relay how she felt about it? You said,
dude, every time I looked over, she was just in tears. Quietly sobbing, thank God, because it was just taking me out of the movie. But no, and I wasn't crying or anything, but no, I was getting I
was getting emotional.
Yeah, I was getting pretty emotional. And I think that's not just because we were, know the history of the unit, a part of it, but also I think seeing young Australians portrayed in that way,
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, there's obviously an emotional attachment to the unit for us, but it's a proud moment in Australian history for Australian soldiers at that age to do what they did.
Yeah. Fucking insane.
Yeah, it is. So I can't stress enough, if you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
go out and see it, or get it when it comes out on DVD or
There's
Blu-ray.
actually, when we came home,
I won't say illegally download it.
no,
but
don't
just,
do
you know,
that.
No.
But I found a copy of the documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Afterwards, so Madison wanted to know more about it, so
Yep.
I found that I still had it on my hard
Actually,
drive from somewhere.
What's it called? Because that would be good for people to see.
dude,
'Cause we watched it when we were at the unit.
I'd have to look it up. But
We'll put it in
it's
the
narrated by, is it Joel Edgerton?
Joel Edgerton?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's so well done. It's such a good like companion piece to like after watching, because there's like a bit more details, and obviously they had to condense a lot of the characters into like one single character to, you know, get a lot of the story across in the film. Whereas you're actually getting the guys who were there talking about their experiences on the day as they like move through the timeline of the battlefield.
They play like clips of the radio transmission.
Yeah.
Said, yeah.
So, I wonder. I can't remember if they have to be reenacted.
That's what I thought, because if someone's listening and you know, let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to Sean Barry about it. He'd know all about the history. But because how would you have the recording of that?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we watched that, came home, found that on my hard drive, and then watched that straight away.
Yeah.
And again, like Madison's still bawling her eyes out, and like it's. Really good. But I'll find out what it is, and I'll put a link to it.
Definitely. Because everyone should hear the story, because like as soldiers, like every Australian soldier knows, you know, the Battle of Long Tan. But unless you're really into Australian war history, you're not going to hear this amazing story.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so great that Danger Close has come out, because more people will be allowed, you know, access to the story now. It's a film, and doing so well as well. But yeah, great film, great casting, and get out and see it if you get a chance. But mate, I want to know. Last time I spoke to you, you're always on the road to recovery and getting medically upgraded at work. You're looking good. When I walked in today, obviously I copped an eyeful, so I was able to see your entire rig in its full glory. And you're looking good, mate. You're looking fit.
Yeah. You
seem
weights
happy.
are coming off, thank God.
Yep.
We're starting to eat a lot more healthily now, like eating fish and salad and stuff, which
This
is
is at home.
Yeah,
Do you eat
yeah.
at the mess on base?
no.
So you take all your own meals, or
I normally don't eat at work.
what?
I'll maybe have a packet of chips or something. Every now and then I'll take some lunch, but I pretty much only eat. When I come home, I'll stuff my face.
Yep.
And then have dinner, but that's about it. I really only have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you don't tune into the Maladjusted Monkeys for all your
For
fitness
nutrition
and
advice.
diet advice, okay? Because we're
Or
advocating
any advice, but
just coming for a laugh, really. But so you are very much on the road to.
yeah, man. I just had I haven't seen my psych. Like, I'll finish up with the psych. Don't have to see him anymore. He's signed me off. Good to go. Fit for service.
Beautiful.
So now
That's right. Sorry to cut you off, but that last time I spoke, you said you were coming up to your last.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
asked you like, what's involved with that? Does he voice any concerns at the end? Is it?
That's right, yeah.
Is it a tick and flick thing?
Yeah,
Like, how did that go?
Oh, it was just a kind of general chat, really.
Yep.
He's like, "Do you want to keep going?" I'm like, no, don't need to. I think we covered this last time, but so that's done. So, had a couple of points with the MO just to start organising the rest of the checklist that I've got to hit now before the 16th of October, when my CMECR gets signed off.
Explain that.
I can't even remember what it stands for, but
What is
it? Med Review Board or something like that.
Yep.
But essentially, like all the evidence that I'm saying. So, like, I've got to do, despite the fact that it's psych, I've still got to do a basic fitness assessment, a 10K stomp, and a foreign movement thing.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just the process, but
That's
so
that's
be
an
it.
interesting thing, because a lot of people aren't aware. Like anyone who's thinking about joining the military, they'll be aware of the standards that you need to get in.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there are, as a soldier, is it yearly? How often do you do
it's
the BFAs?
changed. Oh, BFA is 6 monthly.
So every 6 months,
Yeah.
you've got to do a fitness assessment.
But it's easy. It's only
And it's easy.
2.4 Ks in less than 11 minutes 15
Yep.
if you're under 30.
What's the push-ups? 2 minutes?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes to do as many as you can, but I think
You got to get like
it's only
30
like
or something?
30 or something, and then
Yeah.
100 sit-ups, but with your feet held, and that's not hard.
So then you do that every 6 months, but then as Shane's going through now, he's being medically upgraded again, and he's got to do, what is it now?
A BFA,
same thing?
Yeah, it's just a BFA
So
and a
BFA
10K stomp.
And a 10K pack march.
Yeah.
But how much weight on your back?
It's only, I think it's only all course, so I think it's only 25 kilos total.
Okay.
So
And
it's light.
what's the fire and movement thing?
You just got to do, I think, 11 bounds of fire of movement. So you start on your guts in full rig, and I think it has to weigh 12 kilos or something, and a tonal goes. So then you got to get up, run to the next point, take a knee, and then get on your guts again.
Oh,
then
okay. Well, that wasn't even
and you
what I
got
was
to do
in.
that. Yeah,
Is this just for combat cause?
No, everyone. So there's different.
Oh,
there's
okay.
different levels.
Yep.
Of So like infantry will have to do. It's all changing now though. I think Pez is getting cut out.
Yep.
Again, even though they've just raised it. I don't know, but it used to be a 10K stomp in, I think with 40 kilos total. And it had to be in a certain time, so it had to be between 110 and 120 minutes. You couldn't do it any faster. You couldn't do it any slower than that. Then you'd go straight into like all the, so like a jerry carry. So it'd be like over 22 meters, and you'd have to do it like to the tones. You can't do it any quicker, any faster. You got to do that 11 times. The fire and movement, like I talked about before, a box lift, like lifting 30 kilos up onto a high shelf kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all getting cut away now.
God, I wish the police did something like that. We don't have anything.
Cotton wool bloody cops.
God, you say it all the time. Yeah.
But yeah, so that one, I'll do that next week. I'll probably do that, next week. So that's done. Tick that box. Got to go because I finally got my compartment syndrome diagnosed as well.
Yep.
While I've been medically downgraded, they've kind of added that to it. So now I've got to get a tick in the box from the physios saying like, yeah, that's fine.
Do you wear orthotics?
No.
Okay.
I
Are they
should do
going to
that.
get you? Yeah. They're not? No.
I should. I don't know.
You should. Yeah.
How do I do that? Teach me.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll talk off air about
Yeah,
that.
I'll sort it
It's a
out
long-
later.
Yeah.
So yeah, once I've just got to, and then I got to get my supervisor to write up a spiel about how I've been doing at work, what my duties are,
Yep.
that kind of thing. Then I've got to write essentially the same thing that he writes, but
And you gotta-
worded from my perspective. It's weird.
Yep.
Submit all that on the 16th of October, and the turnaround on that can be like 3 months, but I'm hoping. Because I know someone else who recently got their upgrade, and from when they submitted it to when they got the answer back was only a week. So
Okay.
I could
Right.
be upgraded by the end of the year. Thank
Yep.
God.
Oh, well, that'd be good.
Yeah. Which
Back
I mean,
to fight and fit.
yeah, and
Literally,
it's
and
probably gone for the first 6 months of next year on courses.
how's Madison going to feel about that? Too much, she can't answer.
She's going to be stoked, have a bit of time to herself, and
That'll be good. Oh, I'm glad to hear, mate, you're on track and everything's going well on that front. You haven't. It's been a while since you've fallen off your perch or anything like that.
yeah, man. Like everything with the drinks been going pretty good. I mean, I'll have a drink every now and then, but
Yep.
it doesn't. I think since the last time we spoke, when I had that one incident, no drama since then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all going rather well.
Oh, that's good. Well, actually, this would be a good time to cover it. A question I get asked a lot, through doing the podcast or at work or whatever.
Where do you get your hair cut?
No, well, my hair is a big talking point wherever I go. I don't know. I'm not happy with it though, but yeah, I'll put a post up about that. But people, and I really want to ask you this: when people want to know, from our point of view, when you get in a funk or depression hits hard on our lowest days, what do we go through? What do we experience? What happens in that day, and how do we get ourselves out of it or avoid that happening in the future? So what's a low day for you?
So like,
How often does that happen? Actually, I'll ask you with that. Start off with that.
I wouldn't say often, but I think now, because I've gotten the tools now and I recognize when it's starting or if a day's going to be like one of those days, you start preempting it a lot more. So while you're at work, it's not so much an issue because you're busy, you've got stuff to do. But even then, on days like when you just don't want to talk to anyone.
Yep.
It's an effort to talk to people at work, and all you want to do is just be in your own little world and do your work and be left alone.
Well, I find from my point of view, it's the same thing you were just saying then, where not that I have them often, but I have had them, that on the lowest days, it's normally when I'm at home, I'm not working, and
Yeah.
for some reason, I'm in this funk and I cannot leave the house.
Yeah.
It's like almost like social anxiety. I don't want to go out, interact with anyone, and in my head I'm going, all right, you got to get off the couch, you got to get out of bed, you got to go do something, get up now and do it, and I can't, and it is like a severe anxiety almost. You don't want to interact with anyone, you don't want to answer your phone. Before I know it, the sun's going down and the whole day is gone and I've done nothing. I haven't left the house, I haven't even changed out of my, my boxes or whatever.
You need someone to peel you off the couch.
Yeah, basically. And that'll on my worst day, that'll last a whole day.
Yeah.
But it's not often that it happens. But if I'm
what
at
do you
work,
do? Like, so you've hit that point where you just go to sleep and hope the next day is going to be better, or
like, I'll be honest, like, I don't have the answer for it. Like,
yeah,
you can't always win. You can't, there is no meme or quote that I'm going to read or you're going to be able to send me.
I'll just do more squats.
Oh yeah, just get out and do a workout, mate. It's easy to say that.
Yeah.
But when you're in that moment, I'm telling myself, bro, you need to get the fuck up. Go out, do something, achieve one goal. And I'll try to do that. Some days I can. Other days I don't have a win.
Yeah.
And it's a day wasted.
Oh.
But I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. One of the best things that I got from, and it's such a simple thing that my psych used to say, because one of the biggest things I do is like get in my head and like things need to be a certain way. I'm trying to control everything. Is close enough is good enough. Like sometimes it's out of your control, and even if it's what, fuck it, I'll just have a shower. I'm not going out, but I'll get off the couch and have a fucking shower.
Yep.
Sweet, fucking achieve that.
Yeah, little
and
goals.
that'll be fucking, and that's okay. And you've got to be, and that's what has helped me is learning to be okay with that. Learning to be okay with, I didn't really achieve anything today. Like, I should have mowed the lawn or something like that.
Yep. Well, I had recently I had a whole bunch of days off, and I knew that, okay, so this goes back to preempting what you were saying. Like, the way I avoid a day like that is the night before, the day before, I plan out my day. I go, righto, you're going to get up, have a shower, have brekkie, and then, on this day I was like, I'm going to do some yard work. Start doing yard work in the morning. So got up, I went, yep, sweet. The hedges at the front, I need to do them. Need to mow the lawn, a few other things I got to do. The weeding was out of control. So I went to my neighbour Clint, who's also a copper, went around his house, and he knows what I'm like, and he's the opposite of me. He's got like 80.
Yeah, proper.
Like, you go around to have a beer with him, and he's mowing the lawn, trying to talk over the mower and chat to you. You're like, mate, just sit down, stop doing shit. And then he'll sit down and start weeding, shit like that. So he always has to be doing something. So I went around, I said, hey, mate, I need to borrow the hedge trimmer, the mower or whatever. I'm going to get myself sorted today. And he's like, oh, good, man. Like, you get out there, just achieve a few little things during the day, it'll be all good. I'm like, cool. So I felt good. I'm carrying the hedge trimmer down and everything. I'm like, cool, I'll start with the hedges. Mate, I could not get this fucking hedge trimmer going. And I was losing my shit, like, fucking ripping the cord, mate. With every failed attempt, I was just getting angry. I just wanted to drop kick this thing onto the road and run over it with the Pajero. I texted Clint. I'm like, mate, this fucking thing won't work. And he's laughing. He's like, bring it up here. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let you start it for me. He's like, you probably flooded it. Just kept bringing it up. I'm like, nah, not going to do it. So I kept trying. It wasn't working. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go in the house, chill out, listen to some music, or chuck some sports on and watch that. And I nearly did. I went, no, okay, that's not working. I'll do the weeding, So I'll supplement it for another thing. I go, that's still a win. So I started doing the weeding.
Absolutely, like, it's out of your control. Well, it wasn't. You could have just gone and get Clint to fucking start it for you.
Well, he texted me when I'm halfway through the weeding going, I don't hear much hedge trimming. And I was like, shut up. But I completed some weeding, and I didn't get the whole yard done, but I'm like, right, I'll focus on the backyard. Just do that. Got a sweat up, did it for like an hour. I'm like, all right, cool. Do that. It's lunchtime. I've achieved something.
Yeah.
And even, it's just a little bit of weeding. But it got me out of the house and off the couch, so I didn't spiral into one of those days.
Yeah. At least you kind of caught it, stopped it, instead of it going further.
Yeah, exactly.
No, actually, a good little trick Madison's put me on to. Like, some mornings just don't feel like getting out of bed is just counting to 5, and then on 5 you get out of bed.
And that works for you?
It works. Like,
really?
You just think, like, because if you got to focus on the counting though. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your head, and then you just do it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's probably not going to work for everyone, but it works for me.
Well, and that's what the point of we say on this show. Like, it's what works for us isn't going to work for everyone.
Yeah, so many weird little things.
Yeah, like another thing, I have trouble sleeping, so I use meditation app on my phone, which helps calm me down. It's basically breathing exercises, but you can set the timer how long you want it to go for, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. I normally go about 10 minutes, and I'll use it on nights where I can feel that I'm elevated, especially if I've just finished work. I'm slightly elevated, and I lay down.
I don't know why, but I was imagining you levitating.
Yeah, when I'm elevated, and I literally want to get back on the ground and lay down. But I'll turn the lights off and I go, righto, let's sleep. And the mind just keeps running, tossing and turning, and I'm like, okay. So I'll put the app on, and it just, gets you to close your eyes, focus on different parts of the body, focuses on your breathing, and by the end of it, like at the start, it's hard because I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm aware that I'm trying to convince myself to calm down, so I'm fighting it. But then, as it goes on, before I know it, I'm starting to drift off. But it won't always work. So it's hit and miss. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. But that's something that
and that's another thing is like letting go of that control. Like, it's not going to happen overnight, and you need to keep like learning to ride a bike or anything, like learning anything. You have to keep practicing in order to get better.
And you won't always get it. It's like, you've got like an awesome skill that 9 times out of 10 you're good. And as soon as you want to show someone, you fuck it completely. That's going to happen. That's all right. Like you just go again another day and get it right.
What are like probably something like people would be interested to know is like what, like for first responders, what would be your biggest stresses? Like, obviously, having to draw your weapon on someone and stuff like that, but like the everyday, I guess maybe the more mundane stuff that.
That's actually a good question. For first responders, I would say where I'm at, like things that get to me, and I know talking to guys I work with, it's the same thing. This sounds so bad, but I don't mean it to be. But dealing with the public perception.
Oh no, human beings are fucked.
Yeah. They definitely are. And what I mean by that is everyone thinks that because you're a police officer, you have all the answers. Okay, like when most people call a fiery, they're expecting them to put out a fire. And that's basically it, or save a cat, whatever it is. If you call ambos, you want them to fix whatever health issue you have or injury you have. But when you call police officers, they for some reason think that we're mental health professionals, that we're marriage counselors, that we can do everything, that we've got this fucking Harry Potter wand, we can fix everything then and there. And catch a bad guy like that. And, I think that's the hardest part is public perception. Like, some people love you, some people hate you. Most people hate us until they need us, So I think that, like, that's a major stress is dealing with the public, because not only on a shift is your adrenaline going up and down from, high-stress jobs to, like, a nothing job where you just, talking to an old lady who wants to ask you a question. But then in between that, you're going to these jobs where everyone is so demanding of you, and you're like, well, hang on, there's a process here. Just because you want something doesn't mean that I can give that to you. I'm here to help. I'm here to listen to you. I want to help you, but you need to understand that I can't do the Harry Potter expectus fucking. I can't remember what it is. I've never watched Harry Potter, but
liar.
But yeah, I would say that is definitely a major stress, and couple that with the unknown of our job. Like I was saying before, a fiery would expect to go to a fire. Ambo would expect to go to an injury or illness. We don't know what the next job.
That's a really good point.
So, I think I've touched on it in a previous episode, but yeah, the unknown of what you're going to go to is definitely a stress, I would say. And then you shift work as well. So you add all that in the mix, like minimal sleep. There's always staffing issues. Like, we've never enough coppers. So it's
because and it's the right of the digger to whinge, but so many people in the army whinge about always going here, going there, but at least 90% of the time, it's pretty well structured. You know, TS is going to be, you know, at the same time every other year, and you know when your exercise is going to come up. Like, whereas for like you guys, yeah, it's like that shift work. Well, you do know when your shifts are, but then like that unknown of like, what the fuck am I doing today?
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially if after you do 7 nights, you know, like, so at my station I do 7 night shifts in a row, so it's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I struggle day sleeping, so it's hard for me. So then you get to that 6th or 7th night and you're wrecked, but you're still expected to perform, go to any job and deal with it like, you know, like you're 100%.
Yeah.
And that's hard, especially on a busy night, like on a weekend shift, or, you know, some urgent jobs are going off all at the same time. Trying to rely on waking yourself up or relying on that that adrenaline at a certain job to get you through it. And then that may work on your 6th or 7th night. You get that big job and your adrenaline gets you through, pumps you through. But if that happened at the beginning of your shift on your 7th night, when you finish that job, you crash. And now you've got 6 other hours that you got to get through going to other jobs, you know, trying to get yourself back up to your peak performance. It's hard, which is why coffee comes in handy. Warfighter coffee comes in handy. Great plug there. I'm getting better at that. But yeah, I would say, back to your original point, those, what I mentioned there, those are the main stresses for like first response or GDs, officer, general duties officers. Yeah.
So I suppose that is something that it would be really good for you to practice, and is like letting go and not having control over over everything.
Well, you mean like at a job?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, at a job.
Yeah. Well, it's actually like, that's a good lesson for police officers to learn, or a good education point for also the public. You know, you always hear stories.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, basically. Don't make me tap the sign. Like, you know, you always hear stories of like, police attended and they felt like he didn't care or whatever. No, it's not that. We go to that many jobs. We detach emotion from it. You know, like we have to. So unless it's like I don't want to name any specific jobs, a job where you need to use emotion in your communication ability, like if someone's been, you know, sexually assaulted or something like that, you need to, or you're dealing with a child, you need to use emotion to communicate. That's when you draw it out of you. But if I'm going to like someone's had their house broken into, and you know, we go to these jobs every day. On day shift, you go to a couple of breaking in and follow-ups, and that's going to someone's house who's been broken in the night before, asking them what happened, what was taken, things like that. Yeah, I'm not going to use too much emotion in that, because, and it sounds bad,
I don't reckon. I think that's a professional thing as well.
Yeah, I'm going to many jobs that I've been to this type of job every day. I know what I'm looking for in that. And this goes back to the point, I think maybe it was the last episode of the episode before I mentioned it, is, you know, even though it's the 1000th time I've done this, for that person, they may never experience this. So they're going through like their elevator, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. In my mind, I'm like, cool. There are certain things I need from you. I need to get certain points of information out of you, so then we can continue on with the investigation. I can go to that next job. So, there won't be too much emotion from me investing in that, because I've got a job to do.
Yeah.
And I think most coppers are very much similar like that. Although you get your first years who, you know, every job's new to them, so they're going to spend a bit more time and want to be, I think naturally they want to be emotionally invested in every job they go to, but you can't. You can't do that. Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's a good thing though. Like I think that's a more professional way to go about it. Like obviously, like you said, there are jobs where you need to to use that. But
then on the flip side, there are cops who just have no idea how to communicate. So, you know, that might just be a personality trait. Yeah. But you're going to get that in any job.
Especially our line of work.
Yeah, very much so.
Listen to questions.
Listen to questions, yeah.
Because you brought one up earlier, but you said you weren't going to tell me until...
Oh, well, let's have a look. Normally this would be Madison's job, so bear with me, because I'm trying to see where all the questions are coming through.
How dare she go out
Where is she, anyway?
Spending time with her family. Can you believe that? When we just decided yesterday to do this.
Why do we... Yeah, at a moment's notice. It makes sense why we don't pay her now. Yeah. Sorry guys, bear with me. So we're getting questions through Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. So, question for the boys. Well, this question is really more for Shane. While I
Is this the one that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that we got through last minute. So it says, well, this question is really more for Shane. While I understand that you train for so long and hard for firefights and on deployments want nothing more than being involved in a TIC, which is troops in contact, for anyone who doesn't know, what actually goes through your head the moment that first round goes flying past and all of a sudden you're in an actual contact? Also, how do you deal with the adrenaline dump and low feelings after it's all over? So it's aimed at you because...
Is that a dig at you?
Yeah, that's a dig at me.
Yeah,
so
good.
that's, I'll name and shame him. That's Anthony Clacker from my station. So thanks, Clacker, for sending that one in. So that's aimed at Shane because he got his big call. He got his contact overseas and I didn't get my contact overseas.
I suppose the first thing is just disbelief. Like, was that what I think it was? Like, and then...
So in your contact, I know you've told the story before, but initially, what was the first thing you remember? How did you know you were in contact? Was it someone yelling contact, or was it the sound of the round?
Yeah, it was the sound of rounds passing, because we were at the back of the compound. So like, we weren't going to get hit or anything, but like however many meters above it was, like you say, something whizzing overhead, and then it's like, that's weird. And then I can't remember. I think someone just yelled out contact or something, and then from there it was a bit of a blur because we were all kind of scattered because I think we were different sections were doing training with different of the ANA, the local forces around the compound, so we're all a bit disorganized at that moment. Yep. And so it was a bit of a scramble to get the cars ready, get stuff thrown back into the cars because I think we were about to brew up or something, and just get ready to start receiving, an initial set of orders for what was going on. And then from there, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. I compartmentalize so much stuff, and I rarely think about a lot of that stuff anymore. So like, I've forgotten so many details now. It's so fuzzy.
It's maybe hard for you to remember your emotion, but was it like excitement?
Fucking exciting, dude. Yeah, it was. I had the biggest smile on my face. So I'm not gonna lie. It was freaking exciting. And then, what happened? Then we moved around the side, and then just like that whole time you're just riding this high, and you're just jacked up, and you're just keen to go. And then I suppose once everything's said and done, I don't know. I don't remember there being a massive low, but I think I talked about seeing the kids come out and play afterwards. It kind of puts you in a
that would have been weird.
Yeah, it put me in a weird frame of mind. Like I didn't feel I wasn't upset or anything like that, but it's just like I felt I felt really, really bad for the people that, the everyday people just trying to live their lives in the middle of all this bullshit that's going on around them. And I probably got a bit angry, if anything, like just at the whole situation, is feeling really bad for them having to live like that.
Yeah.
So massive excitement. And then, a bit of anger. I don't remember much, I'm sorry.
Well, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, no, I hope that answered your question, Anthony. Thanks for sending that in. Bear with me. Where's, just trying to find some other questions. We really need Madison here.
Yeah.
Okay. Question for the boys. I work for the QPS and recently had a colleague at my station rock up for night work without his uniform shirt. He asked around and it turned out I had a spare one in my locker, which I loaned him.
This is a weird question.
I think I know where this is going. A spare one in my locker, which I loaned him on the promise he'd wash it and return it. It's been several weeks and he's yet to return my shirt. To top it off, he's also continued to wear this shirt around the station while commenting how big his arms look in it. So my question is this: Tommy Archer, when are you going to give me my shirt back? That one's from Ian from my station. Mate, the shirt looks better on me, and you're not going to get it back. Let's be honest.
I'm loving this different style of questioning.
Yeah, why do you get the serious questions? God, finding questions is difficult.
I thought, didn't you correlate them all? Yeah.
Well, Madison knows where to find them on Instagram. I feel like they disappear once.
Because almost she has this all written out, and
yeah, she has them all written down.
Which I think I did suggest to you, but you're like, nah.
and I'll wing it, and I'll just figure it out. Yeah, no, we'll have to. We might have to continue this another time.
Aren't they all like just in an email or something?
No, I don't know. Some get messaged, and then some are comments on a post.
Oh, Christ, you're never going to find that.
Yeah, I know. Someone who's savvy right now is listening going, it's pretty easy, boys.
Madison.
Yeah, probably Madison. But
she's going to yell at us when she hears this.
Yeah, she is. Cut this bit out anyway. Cut this bit out.
No, let's just stay in.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've only really got those that I can find. I'm sure there were more. We'll get round to it. Yeah. But the main question I really want to answer was that other one anyway, that I asked you about, because I get asked that the most through people direct messaging me about what it feels like when we're going through that.
Do you think that's because like people are trying to like figure out if what they're feeling is normal? Like,
yeah, I think so. And in our line of work, both military and police, I think, I hate using this, but the whole awareness thing. There is more awareness. Everyone's fully aware.
Everyone's fucking aware.
Everyone's fucking aware that, people have mental health issues. But I think now people are, with the content we put out about our opinion on identity and stuff like that, and, the other forms of PTSD and depression, I think people are becoming more self-aware and just looking for maybe different types of therapy or a different type of conversation, rather than just going to a doctor and saying you've got PTSD or you've got depression, here's some pills or whatever. It's being able to be self-aware, and obviously most coppers will know that as a copper your job isn't normal. I just listed a whole bunch of things before: the shift work, the elevated adrenaline that you're going through from job to job, the public perception. Some people love you, some people hate you. Then in those same people, 5 minutes later, the roles might reverse. They might hate you. They might love you.
Yeah.
You put all those things together. Yeah, you're going to have some issues. You're not going to be normal. Same with the army. Like I'm sure before you and me joined at 2009, we were different people. And then going through, you just look at it, the training you go through to get into the army, that's going to change you. Yeah, you're going to have a few little issues because you're now being trained as a different type of human being. Yeah. Then you put on a deployment, even though it's not the deployment we expected. Yeah. Just doing that, normal people aren't used to. And now, you tried getting out, and that was a bit difficult.
Work.
It did not work because you're not
institutionalized.
You're institutionalized. You're not normal. yeah. You fall in love with your captors, the Defence Force.
Give me more. A bit naughty.
Pull my hair. So now then you got back in, but you're loving it because you found your place. And there is a place for everyone. And it doesn't matter if you've got issues. There's still a place for you. You just got to find where you fit in the world. Yeah. And that's which is why we started this, because we believe it's an identity thing. There is a place for you. There is an identity. You don't have to be a soldier. You don't have to just be a soldier. You don't have to just be a copper. Or whatever it is you identify with,
Talking it out is 100% the best thing to do. And it doesn't have to be with a psych or anything like that. It's just starting by talking to a mate or someone, anyone is the best thing. I was thinking about it the other day, because I can't really go, this is the list of tools that I've got that's, helped me and that I'm working on. The biggest thing is letting go of that control, but talking it out with other people, with yourself, with Madison, has been the biggest thing that has changed. Because now I'm more open about how my day is going. Madison can pick up more easily now when I'm going to get into my bad moods and stuff and preempt it, or leave me alone or whatever. Talking it out is 100% the best thing. And
I think also not having an expectation of solving the problem forever. I think that's where, and you and me get annoyed about a lot. We always reference those mental health social media influencers or pages where it's a meme and it's like, fucking, you can beat it. Today's the day you beat it. It's like, it doesn't work like that. Like we said before, like I'll get hit one day where I can't move and I'm like, get up. Some days I can, some days I can't. That's all right. I'll have a win down the track, but I'm still getting through it. So don't put that pressure on yourself to go, fuck, today I beat it.
Yeah.
You know? Just keep improving. That's it. And being self-aware.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to win every battle,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, you got to get in one to win it, so. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. I know what I'm discussing my next psychologist appointment.
Fucking bastard.
I can't do this podcast anymore. Well, mate, how long have we been going for?
Long enough.
Long enough. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. We managed to carry this without Madison for now.
Oh, God knows
Let's
how.
never do this again
No,
without her. Mate, until next time. Again, thanks everyone for listening. If you haven't already, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram. Instagram's the one I'm pushing at the moment. Facebook.
Isn't that what all the cool kids are doing?
Yeah, I know, because apparently Facebook's dead. Follow us on all that stuff. Get the word out. Keep sending in your questions. And I promise Madison will find them so we can actually answer them. Until next time, this is the Maladjusted Monkeys. We're out.